Decoupled on Netflix borrows heavily from the show Californication that ran on American television in the early 2000s. And boy, I loved the show to the point I rewatched the entire series. Just like Californication, the show features a male protagonist that recoils from his inhibitions to reach into his delinquent side to successfully carve a commentary about a man whose intolerant ways progressively become endearing. Well, at least to the audience. Though it was hard to visualize R. Madhavan diving into a role that in no way represents or comes close to any of his past renderings. Yet it is remarkably satisfying to observe him play a man whose appetite lies in pointing out the trivial practices of a society from the lens of an affluent dweller of the city. And these practices are not even remotely connected to the issues that rot us from within, but a smidgen of annoying little affairs tumbling around us, at the conclusion of which he would shrewdly ponder and grumble his public vexation. Decoupled is a show about Arya and Shruti, latter played by Surveen Chawla, who navigate marital discord, battling absurdities around them from their individual perspective. Arya is an evil genius who writes for a living and is a national bestseller at that, although Chetan Bhagat constantly challenges that claim with a tad adversarial guest appearance. Arya is someone who bears a refined understanding of what goes around him, often taking solace in pontificating about people. He's someone who stands in the queue, putting up a pathetic little charade to rile up the security representative at the airport, implying with his assessment that he is in fact not doing any services to the country, while even arguing that he is not even a Jawan. Or he's someone who goes out on exile from his comfort level to impale the waiters with his cold stare each time they interrupt him in the middle of a riveting chat. In fact, he exacts revenge on one of them by curtailing their train of thoughts while the latter is reading out the order on another table. He even runs down on his driver for his body stench, although he later winds up using him for his own amusement to disrupt the art exhibition after he fails to admire one of the compositions that introduce the subject of financial inequality with a note of levity. One would think his character arc is undergoing emancipation after having had a little broken run in the first half. The second half would witness him coming around, but he continues to wear the guise of a non-conformist. R. Madhavan as Arya is spot on. His delivery faithfully follows his agencies, absorbing the pallets of his indecent behavior. He is misanthropic, and he dutifully adheres to the requirements of the character, not shedding the garb even once. His switching into the appearance of the character together with enticing dialogue delivery make the whole shenanigan look effortless, commanding respect in every frame, although the weak storyline sometimes poses a threat to his persona for peddling his efforts to no particular use. He keeps his wits about him during each scene to let one believe that he nose-dived into the role without worrying too much about the results, and it shows in his endeavor. Surveen Chawla comes out even refined for playing the wife whose essaying of the one that remains mentally disturbed around his grumbling husband deeply impresses us. She contours through every emotion on a delectable note, while thankfully staying clear of the typical snobbery associated with roles of similar depth. The story is a big drawer and a repeller all in the same breath. The pace is intriguingly consequent to the length of each episode, grabbing our attention as we go from one scene to another. But some of the scenes meddle with the thought process behind the making of the show. They're random and are just meant for laughs. The story, however, shimmies its way, showing how the couple who once enjoyed a beautiful relationship has now become a rocking ship staring at a conduit for separation. The story journeys through different episodes, pompously highlighting how the lead couple has grown apart and are now precariously hanging by a sleek thread called dying gasps of marriage. The witty dialogues and comical elements in a few scenes keep us expecting the thrill of watching the show. On the whole, Manu Joseph's writing gives us an elegant account of what goes on in the lives of affluent people when they are, well, not minting money. His last project, Serious Men, opened up a satirical take on the lives of children who are punished for being talented. Satire in Decoupled works, but at a very superficial level without blending with the art of storytelling. Unlike Serious Men, Decoupled doesn't want you to take the highlighted issues thoughtfully. Instead, it wants you to revel in the delight of abounding humor and wit. It is noteworthy that Manu Joseph is able to sell it in the spirit it is written. Hardik Mehta's direction is taut and pleasing. He successfully provides a palatable account of affluence and their ways while presenting a character whose resolve to observe the aberrant flaws in the system comes with no intention of effecting any repair. It is like watching a shrewd middle class Indian talking about the Indian political environment from the comfort of his living room. He doesn't have a practical interest in scripting the change, but he sure has some meaningful arguments. Watch it for the performances, wit, and R. Madhavan's convincing portrayal of an annoying uncle. You will not be disappointed. I will rate it 3.8 on 5. Thank you.